What's up, folks? How you doing? My name is Ronald Seaman. It's always a great pleasure hosting you here, and thank you for stumbling over so many channels onto YouTube and choosing to stick around this one, because you can stumble over so many, but also sticking there also matters quite a lot. And if you have taken the trouble to stick around here and found sense in what I'm talking about, oh, I'm very grateful, more than grateful. So my friend, if you would love to receive more of this content, if you've liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. And if you would love to have more of this consecutively every time I upload, feel free to subscribe by hitting the red subscribe glaring word right there. Alright, and if you'd love to send this relationship to another place or a better place, hit the bell icon. I'm Ronald Seaman, in case you just joined me and in case you didn't read on top onto my YouTube channel, and the son of a gun, and I'd love to say hello to all of you. How has this fraudulent time of COVID-19, this whole time of coronavirus, oh god, those men in suits, they can afford to pay media houses, they can afford to lie to the whole world in order to make an extra piece of money. Hey, what are we supposed to do? Alright, I love you so much. I'll be right back to talk about something that has been a mystery and is still a mystery all over the world. So, what's up? How you all? My name is Ronald Seaman. Welcome back again. And like I told you, I was going to be talking about something that is really contentious, really something that is a mystery. And I'm here to demystify it. And guess what it is? 1, 2, 3. IDI AMIN DADA. He's the man I'm going to be talking about today. Now, the reason why I choose IDI AMIN DADA, one time I traveled, and when I was at the airport in Prague, I met this lady who didn't know exactly I come from in Uganda. Had never actually heard about Uganda. And then I explained East Africa, the home of the Nile, all these things I talked about, and she could just not click until I said, IDI Amin. Say, I understand. So, this is a man that I won't say sold himself out as the most diabolical man or most horrible man or the worst thing, but thing is that he conflicted, his way of operation conflicted with white people or with pink skinned people. Now, I'm not racist, but one thing you should understand is that imperialists or white people have a way of transmission, the way they want to transmit, especially when they are transmitting things to a black person or an African. They believe they know more. They believe they are more intelligent. They believe the African is nothing, is just a literal ape that has managed to evolve to the 21st century. That's what they always believe in. And we are really useless according to them. So here is a time, post-colonial time, and Africans had been told so much about politics and read about politics, but reading about politics and being told about politics is quite different from practicing politics. Now that's where the fave all came from. Politicians are killing each other, entering governments. This one says I have to rule, this one says I have to lead. Trust me, it was a back and forth. So into that time, as we all know, they like manipulating. They always look for that chance when they're going to manipulate, and sometimes they will confuse you so that you get confused, lose your sense of pragmacy so that they can take advantage of it. When they see it and it's come, they use it. So here is a time. Uganda is going through war, civil wars and everything. Ruler. We were like just a couple of dogs trying to skive around for one piece of meat. They come around. And who do they find? They say, for us to exploit these people, for us to step on these people, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to have our own president, IDI Amin Dada. President Amin never wanted to be president. He never wanted to be president. He had actually fled to South Sudan. And that's when he runs back. Because this was a man that had risen to the ranks. He had served. He was army chief of staff. And they call him in because they had realized he had experience of being around the top-notch leaders who had gone to the UK, learned English, studied English, learned politics, been polished. But he was not a practitioner of politics. He was a soldier. So they call him up and say, hey, B, no experience at all. The one thing they did is not understand that this man might have been illiterate, but was so far away from stupid, so far away from being gullible, or so far away from being naive. He was a great lover of his country. And that's the time when he was being asked and hypnotized to do things that they wanted to remote control him. And he said, freaking hell, no. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. And that's where the problem came from. Now, let's go to the part where he becomes a killer. I hate it so much when someone says Idi Amin killed. And they put statistics and demographics. But we've never got the statistics and demographics of King David, a man who was denied by God himself to build his temple. And he said, no, you have a lot of blood on your hands. But the Bible says he was a man for God's own heart. Remember, God is an examiner of hearts. So, but he was a leader. Nebuchadnezzar, Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Caesar, all the pharaohs in North Africa and Egypt. God, do you know? Let me remind the British especially, because these are the guys who always sit on the forefront and keep on saying, he was a man who killed his countrymen and 2000s and whatever. Why do we have the term Bloody Mary? Have you ever understood why we have the term Bloody Mary? Maybe you talk about these things, but maybe the world is not there to remind you about these things and show you how stupid you are. Bloody Mary, she was the Queen of England that killed ruthlessly, and she was called Bloody Mary, but she was a ruler. See? So, if you're a ruler, you kill. You're left with no option. When you rule, you kill. I'm not saying that all rulers are supposed to get up and start killing other people and whatever, but hey, when you're a ruler, you kill. Now, when these people who wanted to manipulate Idi Amin get up one morning and find out that they could not manipulate him, they start influencing his enemies. Obote, his enemy, was in Tanzania. They start empowering him. He had called all the East African presidents weaklings. Just like the presidents right now are weaklings and employees of the West. We don't have coronavirus. Coronavirus that they are talking about right here is it's common cold. Look at the signs and symptoms. Where I come from, it's called Lubyamira. Now you're selling it because you can afford to give CNN, BBC and talk about it and blow it out of proportion. And now we have a big pandemic. All right? Now, Idi Amin, if he was around, he would have said, hell freaking no. This is no disease to kill my people. And that's when Idi Amin started killing people. He was killing his adversaries. Just like you, me, and someone else would go ahead and kill parasites, snakes, whatever. As long because someone is your adversary, you're going to kill them. So I don't understand why Idi Amin is so much called of a horrible man just because he refused to obey bullies. Really? And is that a big deal? I do not know why they do not ever get down to the bottom of it and understand that, yes, I'm not saying Idi Amin was a saint, but do you ever realize that some of these atrocities were caused by men alongside him? If a mere pop star can have many people around him, how about a leader? And do you know how much atrocities that people that move around people of power do? Because they know they're around this person and they're untouchable. Have you ever learned about the story of Hussein Amin, Amin's brother? He was the commanding officer of Gaddafi garrison. He killed a certain man because, they had a woman wrangle and he killed him. But also that case was put onto Idi Amin. Has anyone ever found out why Amin used to move with his son Moses for the guard of honor and everywhere? It was after he was called a cannibal. He ate his child. And that's when he got up and said, you cannot eat your cake and have it. This is the boy that is around. Does the UK ever talk about going to interview Moses in France? He's there. You world who is getting up and calling Amin a diabolical man. No man has ever loved his country like Idi Amin did. Yes, he was illiterate. If he made other mistakes, he made them because he was illiterate, because he was called there, because he was beckoned there. He never fought his way into power. He was a diligent soldier. For your information, I told you I'm demystifying this whole shit. Excuse my rutoro. We're still going on. We have an international conference center, which Amin built. And our current regime has never even expanded it. It needs expansion. It has never expanded it. But that is the killer that you talk about, that you never say anything good about him. We have a man who got up one morning and went for a conference. I think it was, is it Singapore or somewhere, and he reaches there and he decides to buy stuff for the army. As he was returning back, he asks, how much is it to transport this stuff home? And that's when he was told the cost, and he realized the cost was slightly higher, actually slightly lower than a jet plane. He called his governor back at home and he said, send me money, I buy a jet. When that jet came here, it became Uganda Airlines, which the current government ran down, and it's struggling very hard to set up. And it has still failed. That is a man you call a terrible man. This is a man that did Africa's first triangulation in Ombachi. These are facts. In Ombachi. Telecom triangulation. Idi Amin Dada. This man goes abroad and finds people watching color TV. He says, I want color TV at home. And UTV has color TV. Today we have a state broadcaster, which is UBC, which was the former UTV, that is being deliberately run down so that private TV stations can make money. I do not know why all these things are never talked about. All we talk about are the bad things, horrible things that Amin ever did. Amin gets up one morning. I remember very well, this was documented even in the films after him, The Last King of Scotland. And I remember him bobbing and coming onto stage and dancing on, he's going to address his people, and then he's asked. And then he says, I stand here in the uniform of a general, but inside me, I'm a normal man like you. This was an illiterate man that understood that he's a civil servant, the first civil servant. Yet our president, I will quote him right now. He said, he's no person's servant. He works for himself, his children, and grandchildren. He ain't nobody's servant. Folks, wake up, smell the coffee, grow up, and stop growing old. My name is Ronald Seaman. It's always a great pleasure hosting you here. And if you would love to leave me a comment, hey, feel free to leave it down into the comment section. And I would love to thank all the people that make me great music: Joseph Arins, Mostrixx, Faizal, and Ben Sound. Not forgetting vloggers like Orange 83, Squarespace, Audio Jungle. I love them so much. Thank you for always uploading that content that helps fellow vloggers like us make this content great and enhance it to look good. Until next time, I'm the son of a gun, and in case you would want to have more of this, hey, feel free to hit the subscribe button right there, glaring in red. Hit it and you will be getting notifications of what I've uploaded. And in case you would love to send this relationship to another place, feel free by hitting the bell icon. I'll be right back. IDI AMIN DADA for life. Uganda and my country.